Hello, everybody. This is Angelique coming to you live from fabulous downtown Las Vegas from the Shoe Chick Art Studio. Woo woo! Oh, it's been kind of a long time since I've done this, and maybe I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks or so. But for those of you who do not know me, my name is Angelique, and I am the owner of the Shoe Chick Art Studio. Because when you paint with me, kids in Africa get shoes. If you'd like to know more information about that, visit my website at theshoechickstore.com. What we're painting today is autumn. And in Las Vegas today, it's not quite autumn, but we got a little overcast, probably from the fires in California. But it's probably going to be 100 today, which is down from our summertime high, so we're okay with that. I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you are. And let's get into it, because I'll keep babbling. Okay, so let's go over what's in your kit. You have some paints, and you're going to take all the lids off your paints. And you have a couple of paint brushes, a sponge brush, another brush. You should have a piece of chalk, because this is not pre-traced, so we're going to draw this fun little tree together. You have a highly absorbent blue paper towel. You have a cup that you need to fill with water, okay? So make sure you do that. And hopefully you have your drink, right? And my favorite beautiful wine glass. I love this wine glass. Okay, so, and you also have an apron. So make sure that you put your apron on. It opens up, fully opens up, and you put this over your head to protect your clothing from the paints that we're painting with. We're painting with acrylic paints, as we do every day. Acrylic paints wash very easily off your skin, not so easily out of your clothes. And on the back of your easel, you might have one canvas. You might want to have one of these things, and it's attached to your canvas like this. You're going to push, it's flat. You're going to push the sides up, push the flap down like this, and your canvas should stand up easily on your table, okay? And of course, you want to remove that when you're all done with your masterpiece so you can hang it up, okay? So let's get cracking. So water in your water cup. I don't know if I mentioned that, so you want to fill that halfway with water. Get your blank canvas out, and what we're going to do first is we're going to do a light coat of water, okay? So I'm going on my canvas, light coat of water. Don't have to worry about any trace lines, because we don't have any, right? This one is a recycled canvas, so you can kind of see a little image coming through there, but that's okay, because I'm going to cover that up. So, okay, I have to recycle because I'm painting all the time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do what they call the underpainting, what we call in the art world. I hope you have your reference photo, because you're really going to need that. The objective of the painting is, this painting experience is that I take you 90% through the painting, and you do the rest by yourself, okay? So I can't do the lay of the land. So mine's probably going to look a little bit crazy, because I'm not even trying to make it exactly like this. I'm just trying to give you the skills so you can create this painting beautiful, because it takes a while. It takes like a couple of hours, about 3 hours to do a painting like this. So I'm just going to take you probably about 50 minutes through. So a light coat of water through the whole canvas with your sponge brush. If you look at your reference photo, it's mostly orange at the top. So I'm doing this with my sponge brush, orange. I already have water on my brush, so it's not really dark. And then I'm going to just drag the orange throughout my painting with whatever I have on there. I'm also going to paint the sides, okay? So I'm painting the sides of my canvas orange too, on both sides. That's called wrapping your painting. That's how when you hang up your masterpiece, you will not need a frame. So, if you look at your reference photo, it's pretty solid orange, about, I don't know, 3 inches down. Pretty solid orange. About 3 inches down. Drag that paintbrush, that orange, all the way down. Then I'm not even going to wash off my paintbrush. I'm going to go right into my yellow paint, and I'm doing horizontal strokes, and I'm going to connect right where that orange stops, and I'm going to drag my yellow all the way down, okay? I'm going to play a little music while we're doing this, a little nondescript music so that my video doesn't get taken down. Some little, this is called Groove Grove. Hope no commercials pop up. If they do, excuse that. Okay, so going through with the yellow, yellow, yellow. stripey, add a little bit of water, a little bit more yellow paint. Don't forget the sides. Adding a little water to my brush because it's getting kind of sticky. And my sides are going to be yellow down here. If it's looking a little stripy at the top, if you want a more blended effect, just add some yellow right on top of it or a little bit of water, okay? Okay, so I'm done and I went fast, so I'm going to give you a little while to finish there. I dropped something. Glad it didn't fall. That'd be a whole different kind of video. This is live. I'm doing this live on Facebook. And then I take it down and then I put it on my YouTube channel. So anything can happen. And I only do one take. So if I screw up, I screw up. So anyway, okay, so the next step that we're going to do is I'm going to do my sun ray in there. So you can always pause me, of course, if we're going fast because I'm on YouTube, right? I'm on a video thingy. So keep working with that till it's beautiful, the way you want it. And then I'm going to scoop a little bit of white paint. I'm going to use the back of this sponge brush, and I'm going to scoop a little white paint into my tray. I scooped it like this, and then I'm going to use the edge of my tray and kind of wipe it off, which is kind of hard to see because it's white on white. And then I'm going to, if you're concerned about your hands getting dirty, kind of wipe it off with that blue paper towel. I'm going to go right into that white paint that I put on my tray. And I'm going to kind of locate where I want my sun ray to be. I didn't even wash off my paintbrush. And I'm going to put a big circle in there for my sun ray. Or my sun. Okay? Later on, I'm going to go around it a little bit and try to blend it in. But for right now, I just want to make sure I get it on there. Okay? So that's my sun. It's kind of hard to see on the video. I'm kind of lower it just a tad so you can see a little better. Perfect! It's not a perfect circle, but I'm cool with it. Alright. So then I'm going to take this little brush right here and I'm going to dip a little bit in my water and I'm going to kind of even out the sides a little bit, kind of creating that glowing effect for my sun, okay? So I did the circle and then I'm just kind of dragging the paint around with the other paintbrush you have. I think it's the only other one that you have. You might have one more, but if you do, it's the medium-sized one, not the skinny one. Sometimes, I don't know if I'm going to put a skinny one in your kit or not. I don't know if you need that. Okay? Now, for the next part, we're going to use chalk. Are we going to use chalk yet? Or are we going to draw on it? Or are we going to put let's draw let's do the brown next. So to change colors, I'm going to, hold on, I have to rearrange my tools because I'm got everything everywhere. I'm going to, every time you change colors, swish the brush around in your water, wipe it off on your paper towel, and then you go into the color that you want to go into. I'm going to go into brown. I'm going to go about 2 inches from the bottom. And I'm going to draw a straight line and I'm going to paint it in brown, okay? So that's the next thing that we're going to do. Play a little music. I want to see what this next track is like on my groove. Oh no, I messed up. I got the piano. I like the groovy one better. Let's see if I can find my groove. Oh, messed up my flow. This one's called Got Funk. Let's try this one. Okay, with this. Okay, there's my groove. I found it. I like this one better. Nope, not that one. Okay, this is my groove track. Gonna paint the bottom in, 2 inches from the bottom, all brown. And I'm gonna put a little brown on the side. I think it looks cool when you have, like I got orange on the side up here, and then brown on the side down here. Doesn't have to be a straight line, right? Just a line, because it's the ground. These are impressionistic paintings. That means we're giving you an impression of the tree, the impression of the ground. You enjoy these tutorials. If you do, put a comment down or email me at angeliquepaints@gmail, angeliquepaints@gmail, or the shoe chick at gmail. Kind of getting away from the shoe chick thing because I have to explain it all the time, so I use my name, Angelique Paints. Okay, so I painted the brown and brown. So now what I'm going to do, what I get to do, is I get to draw the tree in. Now, I'm hoping that this orange part of your painting, I'm hoping that is dry. If it's not dry, you have to wait for the next step. So mine is pretty dry. If it's not, you can get a blow dryer and blow it dry, or you could take your tray and fan it dry. Acrylic paints dry very quickly. So anyway, we want it to be dry to the touch, which mine is. I'm going to take the piece of chalk, and this is fun. I get to draw on the tree. Now, how can I tell you to draw on the tree? Well, everything that we look at, we try to look at when we draw, we try to look at in terms of shapes. So if you look at your reference photo, it kind of looks like a Y, right? Shapes that I'm finding, or letters, or whatever you need, mostly shapes. But if you look at this, it looks like a Y. So I'm just going to draw my tree about 2 inches over, about an inch over from the side. This is kind of weird because it's like the reverse image for you. So I put my sun over there, which I should have put it over there, but it's okay. I'm just drawing mine backwards. However you're going to draw it. So since my sun is here, I'm going to draw my tree on this side, but it's totally like up to you where you draw it. I always say the objective is not to be exactly like mine. Put your own twist on it, okay? So if you draw the tree opposite of the sun. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go about 2 inches over. I'm going to draw a straight line. And then I'm going to kind of make it look like the letter Y. So the 3 main parts of the tree is kind of like a straight line, then a line over to the side to make it look like a Y. And then there's actually another side. So there's like 3 main arteries to the tree, right? And that one in the middle there that I have, it kind of goes up and it curls. The other one that's here has one curl here. It just like gets crazy. So this one last one that I have right here, the 3rd main one goes here. And then there's kind of a long one that goes out and around and here. Okay, so you're probably getting the idea that you have to creatively draw all these little twists and turns. Now, you can get like really crazy with it and really want to make it look exactly like mine, which I don't think is a whole lot of fun. Or you can just randomly draw some swirls, which that's what I'm doing at this point. I do know that I want some to go into that sun ray right there. So I'm putting a couple in there. And then I'm just going to have fun with it. And I'm just going to add a few here and there, okay? The more branches you have, the better. Like it looks like a preschool picture right now, right? But it's all going to come to life. I'm going to show you. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm swishing my brush around in the water. I just dropped my chalk, which is okay. Swishing my brush around in the water. wiping it off with my blue paper towel. And now I'm gonna just paint all these in black. These are my main ones, my main tree branches. And if you look at the trunk of the tree, it kind of thicker than this line that we have. It kind of goes out, fans out a little bit. So just take a look at your reference photo. Trust yourself in the lines that you drew. You really can't go wrong, okay? And just watch me as we play our groove music or whatever music you're gonna play. I'm painting fast. If I'm going too fast, put me on pause. And my black paint. If your paint's sticky, put a little water on it. If you really like the shape of the tree, look at your reference photo, follow the shape, making the line thicker and making it go out on each side into the ground. And it goes all the way into the ground. It doesn't go, it goes past that line that you made. And then paint it in. You don't want a skinny tree. I'm using the flat of my brush to make it thicker. And then I'm taking the tip of my brush, and I'm just going to extend the lines out a little bit. Again, follow your reference photo with some ideas. You can chalk these lines out first, or you can just test yourself to make some swirly lines into the ground, which that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of looking at my reference photo too. Those roots into the ground. Then I'm going to go over, and we're not going to worry about these chalk lines till tomorrow. Tomorrow is when we're going to wipe off these chalk lines once the paint cures. Okay? I'm using the tip of my paintbrush if I want a thinner line. And I'm taking a look at my reference photo, and one of the branches is just like really thick coming out. So we're going to make it a little thicker. And this branch coming out is a little thicker. There's that Y that I was looking for. And as you're going along, if you feel comfortable with it, just add a few more. Add a few more branches as you go along, or you can do it with when you get the chalk back in your hand. Okay. You never know what's going to come out next here. I don't think I like it so. Going over the chalk lines. Doesn't look like much now, but as you go over these lines and get more creative, the painting's going to really come alive. Alright, so those are the main lines that I drew. Now I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to add a bunch. And the more that the better your painting's going to look. You probably do have one more paintbrush in your kit, and I want you to take that that smaller paintbrush and come out of the branches and even make more branches. And you're gonna have a different effect. I don't have that paintbrush with me right now. Oh look, I can go right behind you because I'm in my studio and grab a smaller paintbrush. You're gonna have a smaller paintbrush in your kit and you can come even out one more time and make even smaller branches. It'll even allow you to put a finer curl on the end of your branches. Looks like my tree is kind of laying back. I want to give you a better image. So I'm trying to make my paint, my canvas stand up a little bit better. I got paint all over me, right there. But that's okay. I like getting messy when I paint. You do not want to see any light coming through your branches. This is kind of a silhouette of a tree. So you want it to be pretty opaque. So that means you're gonna have to go over these lines a little bit, probably twice, or maybe even more than that. Sometimes you use the corner of your paintbrush, sometimes you use the flat of your paintbrush. Okay, and you'll see the different variations in the lines you're getting. And then take a look at it with your artist eye. Where do you need more branches? I'm painting sideways, so it's kind of hard for me. But I can look in the camera a little bit and see where I need an extra curl or an extra branch. Please do not make it look like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Have fun with it. Look at the reference photo. How many curls are on there? Do you need another curl somewhere? Does it look sparse? There's some bun-like branches coming down that one. Let's see. Or you can just, just take a look at it and see what you want to do. Like, I think I want one, I think I just want one right here. And then I'm going to put a branch up there. Then I'm going to put a curly like that. So that's what I mean. Just kind of have fun with it. There's even one that kind of comes down quite far as I'm looking at my painting. But you don't have to do that one if you don't want to. You could add a few bumps and notches into the trunk if you want. But make sure you cover all the chalk lines that you've created. Like I just saw that I have one right there. Isn't this cool? How the tree comes to life after a while. So just keep playing around with it. You might have to step back at it, look at it with your artist's eye, kind of decide where you want another branch to be. Okay? So like I have this one little dangly one right here. I'm okay with him. Maybe I'll have him connect like that. Make that a little bit bigger. All right? So there is a branch. I'm just looking because it's kind of opposite of yours. That kind of comes down kind of far. So I'm just going to add another one here. Just being a little adventurous and adding that one that hangs down a little bit more. One like that. Just have fun with it. This is the part where you just sip on your wine, you enjoy your music, and you just create your tree. And everybody's tree is going to look a little bit different, right? Because that's what art, it's a representation of who you are in the moment, right? So how can it be wrong? All right, so I'm going to leave my tree pretty much. Then I'm going to do my fence. Now you can chalk in your fence, draw some horizontal lines and then some vertical lines. Or you can just trust yourself, which that's what I'm going to do. So there is, let's see, 4 vertical lines. So there's one on the opposite side of the tree, on one side of the tree, right? And then there's like 3 stakes in the ground, I'll say, on the other side. So there's one, using the flat of my paintbrush. I didn't even wash my paintbrush off. And there's some black in it, and I kind of like the effect that I'm getting there. And then there is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking at the reference photo, and I'm looking at the fence, and there's a little line right here, and then between the next 2, there's a straight line. And then there's one that kind of goes down a little bit, the tree, the gate's broken a little bit. And then there's one that goes straight across. Totally up to you. How do you want your fence to look? Like really that line was supposed to go up a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to fix it by doing that. Because there are no mistakes, right? Draw your fence with horizontal lines and vertical lines. Paint it in. Make it thick. I love doing trees because they have so much character. We good? I love it. All right. What are we going to do next? While that's drying down there, I'm going to work on my branches a little bit more. So if you're not happy with your branches, which you shouldn't be, it takes a while to finish this painting. Work on your branches a little bit. We need that to dry at the bottom. So I'm going into my black paint. I washed off my paintbrush. I swished it around in the water. And then I wiped it off. And then now I'm going into my black paint. Alright. I have black on my paintbrush. If you look at the fence, there's a little black going on here and there. So I'm just going to drag a little black into the brown here and there. I don't know if you noticed either, but it's kind of a little bumpy. I'm going back into my brown paint. I'm not even washing off my paintbrush. And I'm just putting a few little weird brush strokes here and there. Just to kind of show a little texture in the fence. So it kind of looks like wood. So they just don't look like straight lines. Alright. What about those pumpkins? Woo! Now those pumpkins are going to require a little bit of work. I'm washing my paintbrush off. I swish it around in the water. Excuse me. I wiped it off on my paper towel. I'm going to go into that white paint that I had in my tray. If you need more white paint, which I do, I'm going to scoop it out with the back of my sponge brush, put it on my tray to work with. Remember how we did that? Scooped it out, wiped it off on my tray right here. And what I'm going to do is, you can do this with chalk first, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in my pumpkins. I'm going to paint in my pumpkins. And then, right? So, at the edge of my fence here, your brown paint has to be dry. If it's not dry, you're going to fan it with your paint tray and make it dry. I'm going to have one of my pumpkins just going off the page there. One's pretty big, and it goes into the ground. We don't want it sitting on top of the ground. And then one's kind of smaller. And what I'm doing is priming the area so that the orange shows up a little bit better. Right there, okay? So, and then I'm going to draw a smaller one. Okay. That's my other pumpkin. And they're really circles. If you want to get a little bit fancier, you can change the shape a little bit by adding a little point at the bottom of the circle to make it look more like a pumpkin and not like an orange. If you're creative like that, if you're able to do that, if you just draw like a little line in the middle of it, it kind of offsets the circle a little bit. It makes it kind of look more like a pumpkin. So I just drew a straight line in the middle of it. Okay? Kind of play around with the shape a little bit so it looks more like a pumpkin, okay? Now in that space right there, I'm going to wait for that to dry and then I'm going to paint it in orange. And while I'm waiting for that, I have white on my paintbrush, right? So if you have white on your paintbrush, which you should if you're following along with me, we're going to add a little white into that sun and work on the rays of the sun just a little bit more. because that's dry. When you put that white on it, it's going to make it stand out a little bit more. And then if you're done with your tree, if you're happy with the way the tree looks, you're going to add a little bit of white highlights on the tree. Okay, and if you look at your reference photo, it's like here and there. Now you got to be done with the black though, or you're going to make gray. And it doesn't look as cool when you have gray lines going through the tree as it does when you have white lines coming through the tree. So you got to be really done with your branches, or if you're going to apply another coat, you got to wait for this white to dry, okay? See how the tree's coming to life? I love it. Love when you add the white and it starts to come back to life. The tree is coming to life. All right, so these pumpkins down at the bottom. This is the last part that I'm going to show you. Then you're going to work on cleaning up your painting. Like these edges are kind of jagged. I don't like that. So I'm going to take the white and smooth it out a little bit. Look at the detail. Do I need more branches? Clean up your painting. Take your time. This painting is not done. I'm just giving you the lay of the land. It should look like this or close to it when you're done. Smooth out those brush strokes, okay? Last thing I'm going to show you is how to do the pumpkins. When this is dry, when your pumpkins are dry, when that white foundation is dry, you're going to add the orange on for your pumpkin, and then the green on for the stem. If you look at your painting, there's a little fun little green brush strokes through it. If you feel like you want to do that, you can add a little bit of green to the background to add more interest to your painting. If you're too scared to do that, don't do that. Okay, so I'm doing my pumpkins. I think I'm going to need like 2 coats on my pumpkin. This is a fun painting to do on Thanksgiving Day. I'm thinking I'm going to do a Zoom party with my family on Thanksgiving Day. You could do a Zoom party too and then just upload this video into the Zoom. I don't know how to do that, but they tell me it's easy. But wouldn't that be fun? Because this is a pre-traced. So you could just buy some blank canvases and start from the beginning. I'm just adding a little bit of black here into my... So while you're waiting for those pumpkins to dry, swish off your brush, go into the black. If you weren't quite done with your tree, touch up your tree a little bit. Shouldn't be any yellow coming through there. Remember, cover the chalk lines. Wipe the chalk lines off tomorrow, because your painting's going to look different tomorrow. The painting has to cure, okay? So, all right, the paint has to cure, so it's going to look a little bit different tomorrow. Keep playing around those branches. Add another coat of orange on those pumpkins until they come to life the way you want. You might have to add 3 coats, okay? And then with that green paint, with the green, you're going to put the stem on the pumpkin, which I don't think the stem is really green on a pumpkin, but it's green in our reference photo. It's green in my painting, so that's what we're going to do. If you want to put some highlights on those pumpkins, you can take some brown paint, and add some lines on there to create some texture to the pumpkins. Just a little brown paint with a few brush strokes to kind of add to the shape. And then the green, once your pumpkin is dry, you want to put a little stem in there. And if, like I said, if you want to bring some texture effect to the pumpkin, just go into your brown paint a little bit. Curve your brush, like a couple curved brush strokes to give you some shape to the painting. And once it dries, a little white highlight. So I have given you every tool you need to complete this painting. Work with it, clean it up, make it yours. Put some more, like this is not done. I would add way more curlicues on the tree and tighten up the trunk of the tree. Put some highlights on my pumpkins. Work on my sun a little bit. If you notice, like I said, there's some green, just quick brush strokes throughout the painting too. You can do that by just putting a little green on brush, wiping it off a little bit on your paper towel, and then just adding some green brush strokes here and there. If you choose to do that, you don't have to. It just adds a little bit of more interest to the background. Totally up to you. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was fun. I love the ones that aren't pre-traced because you gotta get to put your own creativity in it. Don't get nervous about it. Own it. It's yours. Make it beautiful. It is not finished. This video I think is maybe 30 to 45 minutes long. It should take you about 2 hours, maybe 3. Tightening up and making when I say tightening up, I mean make it clean, make it beautiful. Really enjoy the painting experience. Put your music on, get your drink, and have a good time with your family or alone. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on how to paint autumn, and I hope you have a wonderful autumn. Catch you on the next tutorial. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.